equally good?
It is equally good.
Okay.
The Frontera, I just don't want to put you through Frontera, so
Why?
it's
It's, you can say it. You know, you can actually say anything you want in this podcast.
it's
It's
I don't want to be the one who made you have a Frontera.
really?
It's
Why?
not terrible. It's just if there's better things on the list, I'd rather you have the better things.
So are you like a wine connoisseur? No?
I would. I'm not. I'm not there yet. I'm not connoisseur level. I like the word enthusiast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Kiskapids podcast. Today I have a very lovely guest with me, and you know, she's in a very, I don't know how I can best describe it. She's in a very
A state.
state.
Yes.
No, I know. I'm not even talking about the state.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about.
Okay.
I'm talking about field. She's in a very
Uh-huh.
different field from what, like, you know, the conventional jobs that people are used to.
Yeah.
And I'll just let her, you know, just introduce herself and see what she does. And if she wants to talk about her state, that's up to her. That's not up to me. So yeah, please
Oh.
introduce yourself and tell people what you do before, like, we proceed with the podcast.
Okay. My name is Melisa. Most people know me as the wine girl.
Mhm.
I'm in the wine business.
Yeah.
I am a wine ambassador,
Mhm.
wine blogger, sommelier,
Mhm.
wine enthusiast,
Mm.
drinker of wine,
Mm.
buyer and seller of wine.
Yeah.
Just everything about wine I do.
You hear that?
Yeah.
And you know, it's so interesting because we've run into each other, I think, how many times? Once or twice?
I don't know, because you remember how I forgot.
Yeah.
Shameless.
Here we are. I'm just thinking of, you know, like, we've bumped into each other. We've taken a few pictures. Did we take a picture? No, I have video actually. I
Yes.
did a video. And then here we are. We start talking on Instagram.
Yeah.
Somebody doesn't even remember that we actually
Sorry,
met.
I was drinking wine. I forget.
I was interviewing you.
I know. There's no excuse.
Yeah.
Hold
So
on.
anyway, I'm with Melisa Mwende, and this is the Kiskapids podcast. Today we are talking wine. It's a beautiful day,
Yeah.
and you know, although it's in the morning, we will be having wine. And at least you recommended. What did you recommend for me?
So for you, I got you a Shiraz. I
Uh-huh.
wanted you to have a Merlot, which is way mellow.
Mhm.
But if it's not there, we'll go for
Mellow,
Shiraz.
meaning it's for soft
It's-
people, or
No, I wouldn't
That
even
looks
describe you
soft?
as
No,
soft.
I need something like yeah.
I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
It's morning, and I want to pace you.
Yeah, something that's not
yeah,
too strong.
That's exactly. Plus, we're not
Mm.
having a full-on meal,
Yeah.
so you do not want to. And wine can give you really bad.
Hangover.
Yes.
It can.
Especially depending on the wine you're having. So
Mm.
I wouldn't want to start your day off with.
Yeah. It's still morning.
Yeah.
Morning. And what did you go with?
I went with a white wine because I really like white wine. So I went with a Sauvignon Blanc. Sauvignon
Any
Blanc,
reason?
easy-
Specific reason?
Yeah, just because it's easy to drink. And I'm having fruit, so it's
Uh-huh.
good wine for vegetables and fruits.
Oh my! And what about mine? Is it good for?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Oh well, it's too
I
late
just
for
picked
that.
something that
That's
I thought
different.
looked like you.
Oh. Okay, so we're going to just dig in deep a bit on, like, just what you do for a living. But first of all, the podcast is about the 4 pillars of life.
Mhm.
Do you know about the 4 pillars of life?
No.
You don't know the 4 pillars
I
of
don't.
life?
For
Do
the
you-
sake of.
do you
for the
care
sake
to
of-
know?
Yes.
Okay.
I would love to learn
Health,
from you. I wouldn't even have.
health, wealth, love, and happiness.
Okay.
And we all have
Okay.
those. And if you think about it, all those 4 things, like, in all of us, they're the main things that drive us every single
Okay.
day.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Take care of yourself. You're healthy
Yeah.
and everything.
You-
You look. I think so. You
I
look
am
healthy.
healthy.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
am
you're
healthy.
working. You're making a living.
yeah.
You know, you're paying bills.
I'm actually grateful to be healthy. Have
Taking
you ever
care
been
of yourself.
sick? Like
Yeah.
you have a cold and then you're like, shit.
A headache,
I
stomach
ha-
upset.
Exactly. And then you're like,
Those small things
yeah.
you tend to appreciate
Yes.
and look at things differently, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm just assuming.
Mhm.
I don't know whether I'm right or wrong.
Okay.
Is this what you majored in school? Is this what you studied?
So that's an interesting question. It's a yes and no at the same time. Because when I got to school, I just picked a course randomly. I didn't know what I wanted to do. But the course I picked is food science and technology.
Food science.
Yeah, so it's literally the science of food, the chemistry, the biology, biochemistry of food. And then I joined, and then a year later, I started the wine business. And I was like, oh, wow.
After a year?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay. I can see bits and pieces of what I'm doing in school in this wine business. But I took a gap year, or I deferred. So like the work was getting too much.
Where is this? Do you get gap years in Kenya? Where
Even
did
gap
you go
year.
to school?
I didn't, not gap, I deferred. After second year,
You took a break?
Yeah, I took a break. Because I was falling back because work was getting too much.
Oh, you're doing work and school at the same time? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, and there was lots of traveling to South Africa in between. So I'd miss weeks of school. So I was like, okay, fine. I need to decide what I'll do. So I went to SA now to pursue wine education.
Really?
Yes.
You went to school for this?
Yes.
Oh, shit. No, but that's interesting. And that's what, like, you remember, like, even when I reached out to you, it's because I was like, she really does this. It doesn't seem like it's, just...
hobby?
And hobby. Enthusiast, the way you're saying, no. Like, you actually went and studied. Okay, so just continue the story before
that's it. Like I studied, and the thing with wine is the studies never stop. So you finish a level, you go to the next level, you go to the next level. So I'm still pursuing my levels.
How's that?
It's good. It's nice and chilled.
The presentation?
It's nice
what
and
you
chilled.
expect?
I like it, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, should we say cheers?
Cheers.
Oh. Okay.
No, you can't sit with me and not learn how to drink wine.
Oh my,
so I'll do this today.
That's not how we...
Well, if you want to drink for...
I've already sipped first of all.
No, it's fine. If
Okay.
you want to drink for just drinking, then sure.
Okay.
I don't do this every day. This is what
Okay.
I do when I want to taste the wine and see...
Don't tell me
what
you'll
I
do
feel.
that swirly thing and then
Yes,
spill
I will do that
spill
swirly
alcohol all over the
So,
the mixer.
Because of...
Okay, yeah.
So what
So
you
what
do...
exactly...
What I'm doing.
Yeah.
So first of all...
Because we have an iTunes version for the people who are not
who can't watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Android users as well, unfortunately.
We're suffering. We really are.
I'll take care of you guys, don't
We're
worry.
suffering.
So so we have the wine glasses on the table that have just been served.
Yeah.
And what's the next step before you sip? Although I've already
No, it's okay.
made the first simple mistake.
So what you do is, again, this is just for when you want to actually taste it.
Yeah.
So what you do first is you look at the wine and just see, is the wine good? Because sometimes you find wine with deposits and whatever. So you just look to see if it's clear. Just that.
It
So
shouldn't have deposits.
Yeah, normally you'll get wine that's clear. You will barely ever find wine that has deposits.
Yeah.
And then first, after seeing, what you do is you smell it. So before you smell it, actually smell it first, as is. And then on a scale of 1 to 5, how pronounced are the
sense
aromas?
and
Yes.
aroma? Very strong.
Okay, let me do on a scale because I want to show you something.
I mean,
Like 1 to 5?
1 to 10.
Or
5
1 to 10?
five being good.
Yeah, not even good. 5 being I can smell so much,
Okay.
and then 1 being I can only smell wine.
maybe like 4 out of 5.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me show you. Now there's the swirling. Swirling is just moving your glass so that the wine can move inside your glass.
Okay.
What it does is it opens up your wine, and now you end up swirling way more.
Really?
Yes. So
With the right
what
or
you
left
can
hand?
do, whichever one that's your stronger,
Okay.
the one you're most comfortable with. So I want you to just move your around, but like hold it down
Yeah.
and then move it around so that now it's only the wine that's moving. It's in tiny circles, and then don't be it won't pour. Yeah, just you want to make small circles.
I'm just surprised on how confident you are when you're shaking that glass. I'm just looking at the gear. I'm like, oh
You're
shit.
like, oh shit. Okay, okay. For your peace of mind, I will move my glass away.
we do want to finish this episode, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay. You see, you got it. You got the hang of it. So you now just
Okay.
need a little more confidence and then you'll do it properly.
Yeah.
And then now you smell it again.
Mm-hmm.
And now you'll sort of smell
Oh,
more.
definitely.
So,
Yeah. Thank you.
that's good.
Mm-hmm.
So what
So-
we do
Mm-hmm.
is I would swirl it like this so that I can now get what I want to smell. And then you smell it. Yeah.
Smell it again.
Yes. So
Yeah.
you smell and
A
you're
bit
smelling.
stronger.
It's stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're smelling for fruits, different like vegetables,
Mm.
different there's things like yeast, there's things like bread, there's things like toast.
Mm.
For red wine for Shiraz especially, you want to smell what you can get most likely is black pepper. Black pepper
Black
is a
pepper?
telltale sign
Mhm.
of a Shiraz. And then for me, Sauvignon Blanc, grass. A grassy smell would be a telltale.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like, you see all the fruits on our plates, like the mango
Yeah.
and the apples and the pineapple.
Mm-hmm.
Those are things I should find in a Sauvignon Blanc, for example.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, and that's why you selected, because it goes well with.
Yes.
Oh.
So it's
It's
interesting.
those little things that
Yeah.
if you know now, it makes sense when you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So sometimes some
Yeah,
people
no,
would look at you and think, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Until
Yeah.
you explain, they're like, "Aha,
Now it
I
makes
get
sense.
it."
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, now. Okay, ready. Now, are we getting to the sipping part first
Yes.
of all? Have we sipped? We
No,
haven't sipped.
I was waiting. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay.
So now we can sip.
So now you can sip. And
Okay.
sipping.
Uh-huh.
So for sipping, why I moved it around my mouth is
Mhm.
because I want to taste the sweetness, I want to taste the acid, I want to taste the fruits. So there's a whole lot of specific things you do to taste all those different things.
So you
You-
swirl it around your
Yeah,
tongue?
just move it around your mouth, on your cheeks, on your gums, on your
Mm.
teeth.
Mm.
Just move it around to get a feel of, first of all, how full it is. Like,
I'll
does
tell you,
it-
I'll describe it to you. This tastes expensive. That's the only thing I can say. I don't know about all those other things because I didn't go to school.
Oh, wow.
But it tastes richer,
Rich, good.
rich than,
Yes.
like maybe just a usual wine that you'd buy off the shelf.
Yeah.
Mm. It tastes a bit.
So if we had the Frontera, for example,
Yeah.
that would.
What do you have
taste-
against
I don't
like the
have-
Frontera
I
first
don't
of all?
have anything
It
against
was
Frontera.
on the menu as an option, and then her description was like,
Well, I said because there was better things on the menu.
okay,
Simple.
okay, what's, because it's on the menu, but I want to know why you wouldn't go for that
Mhm.
specifically. Because you
Well-
you know the details, of course. You know the details of how
Yeah.
it's made, and maybe there's a reason. Is it like a cheaper version?
Well, it's
Oh wait, yeah. Okay, describe that first of all. Finish
Yeah.
that, and then I have a very nice question as well. Yeah,
Okay. So it's not that it's cheap.
yeah.
It's just that after drinking lots of wine, at some point you want a wine that will sort of challenge you and make you, like, that will have the complexity to make you feel like, I didn't expect this from this wine. With entry level wines like the Fronteras, the Four Cousins,
There's the
Salaka,
word.
entry
level.
Yes.
Oh, it takes shorter time to make them, or
Not exactly. One, they're commercially made, so they're made for just mass production.
yeah. Okay, not
So-
for quantity, not for
Yeah,
quality.
just for quantity. So if you think
Mhm.
about that against a wine that was made in a small wine estate
Mhm.
and they only made a few thousand bottles, of course the craft is much different.
Mm.
Yeah, so
And you are naming some of the low entry. You are naming some of the entry level.
entry level
ones.
wines, yes,
Uh-huh.
that are very
Just
available
name them.
around.
Just name them.
There's the Frontera, of course. There's the Four Cousins, Selakask, Dostioff, the Saints. There's a
Mm.
Saints
Yeah.
range. Who else? Who
Mm.
else? There's many.
So these people keep inviting me for random parties, and that's all you have. You see, that explains a lot. You just went with. Okay, now I see. Now I
Nice.
see why you
And
always have those options ready there. Like
Yeah,
you're
and then
always
they're
there.
calling you, telling you, let's have a wine dinner.
Yeah. No, but here's the thing. At least I've gone to a few wine tastings, and I
And
I
now
didn't
you know.
know why,
Yeah.
but now I understand. Like, I can always choose like something slightly better.
Okay.
What
that's
I
good.
know is that I never ask for Terra.
Uh-huh.
I never ask for Four Cousins.
Okay.
And I have my friend. I know he'll see this podcast.
Yeah.
He loves Four Cousins.
No.
Every single Friday.
Yeah. Like,
No, but here's the thing. It's just cause he doesn't go for it because it's a cheap version. Don't
No.
get me wrong. But I think he would enjoy wine more because he doesn't drink liquor and he doesn't drink beer. But he's not
he doesn't know much about
wine. So if he knew and if he knows a lot about,
Yes.
all these different things, I'm sure he'd be like a connoisseur by the end of the year. So
Yeah.
shout out to Chris. He knows himself. He's always drinking wine. Yeah.
Okay, so he just needs to.
Mhm.
I would tell him, for example, is
Yeah.
I got into wine because at that point in my life, I couldn't drink hard liquor, I couldn't drink beer and whatever. So I decided, let me try this thing,
Yeah.
wine, and I
Mhm.
got into it that way.
Mhm.
So what I did is I studied a whole lot, and I most of the time I taught myself quite a bit just on websites. I bought a wine book, I bought wine here and there just so I can try them. So for someone like Chris who likes wine, I would just tell him, go to a website. There's this website called Wine Folly. Wine Folly has immense resources. Start from there and then try picking bottles you do not know off the shelf. And don't start with the expensive ones because you won't yet give them appreciation they deserve. Start
Yeah.
with around the same price point and
Yeah.
then move up slowly.
Because I'm guessing it's not even about price,
No.
the way you've said.
Yeah.
Because there are some wines that are always even close to that
Yeah.
like range, and they're
good.
superb, like the South African wines and where else? I
Chile.
think Chile, Italy.
Yes, Italy.
They have like
France.
some really nice bottles that
Don't
like
break bank.
yeah, and they're really and they look fancy first of all. Even if you're
Exactly.
taking a picture for Instagram or something, they look really nice.
Yeah.
So you'll always have like that alternative
Exactly.
if you know what you need to
What
go
you
for.
need, exactly. So I would suggest what you do is first of all find out which grape you like. Do you like Chardonnay? Do you like Sauvignon Blanc? Do you like Cabernet Sauvignon? From there now experiment on different brands. That way it's not intimidating because wine can be intimidating. Yeah.
Even if you go to a restaurant and if you don't know how to order for wine,
You'll end up having beer.
yeah, you'll end up having beer. You'll
Yeah.
ask for Four Cousins and then they tell you you don't have Four Cousins, and then you're like, why? But that's the only thing that you know because it's readily available on every shelf
Yeah.
that you normally go for.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to, like, when you went to study, how long did it take you to
To
do
move
like
up,
the course? I mean,
Uh-huh.
for how long did you study?
So the courses are, there's one that will take you, if you do the course itself, a day course, if you go for the course, it's 2 days. But it requires about a whole month of prior study. So what I did initially, I did my study online. That took me a couple of weeks, I think 5 or 6 weeks. And then I went for my exam in Cape Town. And then now, recently, I did the next level, which took me a few months. And then I now went for my studies. It was 5 days. And then I did my exam. And then later I went to intern at a winery. So that it doesn't take much time.
Okay.
And the best thing is now people don't have to go all the way to Cape Town to study, to do the official courses.
Yeah.
The company I work with got a franchise for the same course to Kenya. And that has opened up so many. We get people
wait,
even
so
from
guys
East
can-
Africa just coming to study. And it saves you so much more money because you don't have to pay for a flight, you don't have to pay for accommodation. You just come here, two-day course, and you're
So I
certified.
can actually also study that if I
Yes.
want.
Yeah, you can.
But
and
does
you'll
it
be
involve
certified.
reading a lot of books?
Not quite. What I'd recommend for you is a level 1, just the entry level, so that you
Yeah.
can get the basics. The book it's like 180 pages. It's 80, and it's so simple.
No, I
And
won't
you
read.
drink so much wine.
I'll drink, but I won't read the book.
Oh
But
my
if you
God,
have
it's
like
so
a YouTube, if you
interesting.
have a YouTube video, if you send me a YouTube video, even
I
if it's
do.
3 hours, I can watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like
Okay.
those visual people. Like if I'm watching something and just hearing and seeing all the actions come
you
to play,
remember more.
I will not forget anything.
Okay,
I
so
won't.
challenge accepted.
Yeah. So, but when you're growing up,
Yes.
oh, okay, even forget when you're growing up. Yeah, when you're growing up, what initially did you? Because I'm guessing like at that time you're not thinking that you're going to do like what was like your dream job when you're growing up?
Now that's the thing. I was.
There's
one of
no way
those
you'd have been
people-
thinking about
Imagine-
alcohol.
No, I wasn't. I
Uh-huh.
had nothing.
Wait, what do you mean?
Nothing. Like
You had no dreams when you were a baby?
I had dreams, not
What
work
were your dreams?
My dreams were okay. I will
Getting
travel
married?
the whole world.
And getting married?
I didn't dream about getting married until like when I.
Oh, recently?
Oh wow.
Oh, we'll get to that though.
No.
We'll get to that. Let's not rush the conversation, eh?
Anyway,
Yeah,
career-wise,
what-
I didn't know what I wanted. I just knew I wanted to travel. So initially, I was like, I will be a pilot.
Yeah.
And then I grew up and I was like, oh, I hate physics, so I will not be a pilot.
Yeah. Once
And I was like, you
start-
know what?
Mhm.
I like English. I will be an air hostess. Then later, I
Ah.
was like, I went as far as applying to KQ.
Mhm.
And then the guy denied my application because he said, this is mark my words. He said,
Yeah.
you are too smart for this. I will not allow you in. I was like, what do you mean?
Wait.
How's that ever a problem?
Mm.
Then he was like, when they get smart people to be flight attendants,
Mhm.
they tend to be bored with the job. It's boring.
Oh, wait.
It's basically
What
being
are you
a
saying
waitress.
about flight attendants? Because I'm hosting one next week.
No, I have nothing against them. I'm
Oh,
just saying,
okay.
this is what I was told by the guy. He was like, I will not do this for you. Because
Basically, you're saying they're not smart. Is that
oh
what you're saying?
my gosh. No, I was just told. Oh yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm playing. Hey. Let me not turn this like a whole other different.
I can't even go on CNN for an interview because, hey, wait.
No.
Deep.
No, but I get what you're saying. Like you sounded like just like or they could see that this is something that you might actually just get bored with.
Yes, and they do not want they do not want a high turnover in staff. So they would not want someone who would maybe see that they can do much more and then end up leaving and leave them hanging. So that was crushed. That dream was crushed. And then I became a teacher. And then
You were teaching?
Yeah, I was teaching.
What were you teaching?
Math and science.
Oh shit.
I know. I know. Like I've done so many different things.
You're teaching
Imagine.
math and science.
Yes, I was teaching.
Okay, what
math and
other odd
science.
job maybe that you did, and now when you're looking back, you're like, hey. But because all these things shape us.
Teaching was the one that was so off.
Were you teaching kids or like
Yes, I was teaching kids. I was actually specializing with special education needs. So
Oh,
kids
okay.
with dyslexia, kids with autism.
Oh wow, that's nice.
It was so eye opening.
Mm.
But then something else I also learned is I did not have a passion for it. So I did a year's contract and then I left. Yeah, but it was a really good learning curve for me.
Okay, very, very, very interesting and intriguing. So I mean, the hostess that I'm hosting next week, man. If you have anything, I've tagged her on Instagram.
Oh my gosh.
Just go send your insights right there. I mean, if you want to ask her what she meant by what she was saying,
Yes.
just
But
talk
it's a
to
thing
her.
I would want to do. I would want to honestly do it for like a year at some point in my life.
Then go and act dumb if that's what
You
will
know?
make you. But yeah.
I did
So-
not want to be offensive, guys.
So the transition from now like deciding like now I think this is what I'm ready to do like for a long time before like even if you change course maybe sometime if you'll get bored like most intelligent people would. But what made you choose like okay, so I think this is something nice to settle on because yes, I've tried so many other different things, but this seems to be okay.
Well, the thing is, gosh, now I'll sound like. Anyway.
No, it's okay. Just come on, it's a podcast. You have your opinions. You're entitled to say whatever you want to say, and you can curse on the podcast as well. So I mean,
okay.
yeah.
So, why I decided, first of all, wine sort of found me,
Mm.
and it ended up being something that I really liked, and I was like, I can see myself doing this for a very long time. And the thing about it is, it's so complex and it changes so much, and there's so much to know
Mm.
that it's virtually impossible to get bored if you're interested in it.
Mm.
So that's why I was hesitant to say I am a connoisseur, for example,
Mm.
because I only know tip of the iceberg of what there is to be known about
Because
wine.
being a connoisseur means you have to have super rich.
Well, with that,
It just
it's-
means you're
okay.
you have that knowledge and
Knowledge.
interest, and you're still projecting towards so many other different just parts of what you're actually doing,
Yeah.
what you're pursuing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you are a connoisseur. Even just how you
I will
order
take
wine.
it.
You see, how you order wine is completely different, because I didn't want to just ask for wine. Okay, just bring us.
Just bring me.
No. I wanted you to
house
go
wine.
through the menu, and then just the way you can ask about this and this. This goes well with this.
Yeah.
It's just like that little description just shows a lot.
Okay.
And, I can always have you when I need to impress my friends.
Yes.
Yeah, we have this.
I
yeah,
love doing that. By
You
the
love
way.
doing that.
I love.
And then
I do it
everyone
with my
everyone
friends.
starts looking around. They're like, what?
How do you know? Okay, I love doing
But
it for my friends.
that's good. Okay, how about your parents, relatives? What do they think about what you do, and do they understand? Because it's something completely different.
Yeah.
Because you can imagine, if it's a grandma, all those old school people, they're like, drinking.
No, they even say pombe.
Pombe.
Uko kwa hii kazi ya pombe.
Pombe. Exactly.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So
how do they take it? They supportive? Do they understand? Did it take them a while to actually accept this is what?
I want to do?
Yeah.
It took a while for sure, and at first there was very little understanding. But it was one of those where they're not exactly against it,
Mm-hmm.
but they're also not going to go out of their way to support. So it was just, you've chosen your path, okay, great. But just make sure then you're the best at it. That's
Yeah.
it. So, but my mom, she barely drinks.
She doesn't drink?
No, barely. She's mama wa guild. Nitaambia nini watu wa PCA?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And actually my whole family is very religious. So that is yet something
How
we're yet
unfortunate,
to
by the
tackle. We haven't even had a conversation about.
Mm.
So one of the things that I usually battle with a lot is, for example, tithing. Should I tithe with money I got from my work, which is work from alcohol, which is, there's lots of questions, questions I'm not even ready to ask and get answers for.
Mm-hmm.
And those are things that I think with lots more maturity I'll be able to answer.
You can do that.
Well, yeah.
Because Jesus turned water into wine.
That's always my
And
line.
I'm sure if you tell them that, punch them, they're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, why?
It's always
Why?
my line. Whenever someone asks me, and now you're Christian and then you drink and then Jesus, remember that time?
Jesus turned
It was his first miracle. That should tell you something.
It was actually
Imagine,
his.
yeah, it was.
Oh my. So no Christian person would actually ever come. If they're reading the Bible, they can't just drop that
Exactly.
on you, because be like, hey, just give me a minute. Let me open this
Let me
verse
open
for you.
this for you.
Mm.
Let me show you. Let me show you.
Okay, so that's very interesting. Yeah, so at least we think that they didn't protest against it,
Yeah.
but they're a bit hesitant.
Yes.
But now, since you're doing it every single day,
Now they've accepted. Now they're like, okay, cool. We see you're actually serious about this. But the one thing that I'm constantly reminded is to remember that the job I'm doing it's sensitive. It's
In what
very
way?
easy. It's very easy to
to get lost.
yes, to get
be
lost.
an alcoholic.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's one of those things that you really need to keep checking yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that at least now my family, my friends just keep telling me, just remember, don't get lost in it.
Okay, wait. Are you an alcoholic?
No, I'm not an alcoholic.
Okay.
I'm not an alcoholic.
Oh,
What's
so you
even
don't have a
funny-
problem with alcohol,
Like
right?
what's even funny is
Mhm.
even when I drink wine, I am not the kind to down a bottle of wine. 2
Or
glasses
just
of wine
sip
knock
and-
me out,
And
Yeah.
then you're good.
and then I'm good.
But how often do you drink?
I taste a lot.
Nice choice of words.
Yes.
I taste a lot.
I taste a whole lot. I'll maintain that answer.
But now are you working for, like, can you name the company that you're
Oh
working
yeah,
for?
of course.
Yeah, so because now we're just heading towards, like, from when you're interested, started pursuing,
Yeah.
educating yourself with this and that, and then you joined a company.
Yes.
What company?
So the story of how I joined the company, and I'll
Mm.
get to it, is initially when I got into the wine business, I dove into the deep end. Knowing very little, I started hosting wine tastings because the
How?
one time
Without any...
with nothing. So I remember the first time I went for a wine tasting, I didn't know jack shit.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. I couldn't wait to go home.
Yeah.
And I remember...
And it's your own...
No, this is now someone else's. I'd gone to just as a guest.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember when I left that place, I just said, I swear
One
down,
day.
I don't want someone else to ever feel like this. Because the tastings that were happening then were tastings for experts. Like, it wasn't just you and me going for a tasting and having a good time like how it is now. So I decided I will host a tasting for beginners, by a beginner, and I will just have experts come and do the tasting and whatever I just organized. So I did that for a whole year, and I did a couple of tastings, and that's where I met the connect to my now employer. So later on in my career as a business person with the tastings,
Yeah.
I met the distributor of wine called Vergeleken.
Fair
Kenya.
what? What's is that?
Vergeleken.
Oh, shit.
It's
I can't-
South African, but
I just can't with all the names and the
Okay.
pronunciations.
Okay.
But I will learn.
No, I
will
have
learn.
a better way of an easier way to say it is Vergeleken. Vergeleken.
Vegileg. What's that? First of all.
Vergeleken. It's a wine. It's a brand, but it means a place far away. It's Dutch.
You see that feeling that you're talking about when you first
having
left? Then
it?
that's what you're trying to do to me right now. That's what you're trying to do to me right now.
No,
You just say that you promised you don't want anybody else to feel that.
I'm teaching
That's
you
what-
the name of the
Okay,
wine.
okay,
The name.
uh-huh,
It's
uh-huh.
Vergeleken.
Vegilege.
Yeah, Vergeleken.
Vegilege.
Yes,
Mhm.
but that's the easiest way to say it.
Okay.
So I met them,
Mhm.
and I used to do tastings with them now. So I'd use their wine a lot, and then down the line they're like, "Hey, by the way, since we're getting into the East African market, would you like to be an ambassador?" Like, sure, why not? Yeah, so that's it. Now I'm the ambassador for Vergeleken to East Africa, which is really good.
Oh, and you know that's a good thing because a lot of, I mean, I just had like a brand ambassadorship is the other way of Kenyans just using models for free. But you know, you are actually you have a job doing it. You're not on that other category. But yeah, but at least now as an ambassador. Okay, what's your role as an ambassador for the company?
So
Let me ask that. Yeah.
it's simply introducing the wine to the market here. So I will visit customers. By customers, I mean hotels, restaurants, wine shops, personal customers, just to get people to know the wine. I do tasting with people a lot, and eventually get my wine listed in different places.
Also that actually, like, you know, if they're buying stock for the restaurants and everything,
Yeah.
they are more knowledgeable about the kind of
Exactly.
wines that you're...
And what will happen is also, so we go a step further, and if I had my wine here, for example,
Yeah.
the first time I bring it, I'll get everyone, train them, make them taste the wine so that they actually know what they're selling. Because there's nothing as hard as selling something you do not know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like in the Kenyan market. People just
Exactly.
want like what... Yeah,
What they
people
know.
want for cousins.
Exactly.
Frontera,
Selacas.
and it's so crazy because I used to be that person. You see, that's the
That's the crazy
scariest
thing.
Yeah, because I'm
Exactly.
like, yo, we're talking about it. But
And I
that's
was
what-
there once.
Yeah, I was there once.
So
and
was I.
You had the money, but if you go, the only ones that you knew were
Exactly.
for cousins, Frontera.
Yeah, and you just
Oh,
stick
wow.
to them.
Those brands are really making good money. By
They
the
are.
first of all, they
Four
are.
Cousins is making
They are.
killing.
They are.
A killing.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, talked about like your role in the company and everything else, but let me just ask like a little bit more, just questions of like what the normal guys like who are not like who don't have that knowledge when it comes to wine. What kind of wine are you? What kind of wine goes with what with what occasion?
Okay.
Like, what would you recommend? I don't even know the right questions to ask. But let me say, okay, let me just
I
say
like
like
your questions.
you like
I
the
do,
questions?
yes,
Or they
because
sound
I'm tired
that
of being
from a
asked.
curiosity point of view, right?
I like those questions because that's how you end up learning.
Yeah. What questions are you tired of? What? For the same old questions.
There's the questions you always get.
They get tired and they're like, again.
Sometimes I usually want to tell someone, can I refer you to the interview I did last week?
Yeah, because it's the same
It's
questions.
the same questions. And I'm like, here's a chance to learn something. Grab it and ask.
Yeah, ask. Okay, I'll ask a common one because I go out to lots of dates and I'd say maybe family gatherings and stuff. Let's say I'm on a date.
Okay.
What kind of wine would you recommend for me to,
Impress.
order? Yeah, to impress and pronounce in a way that some be like, oh, okay, this guy knows his shit. But also not sound stupid so that the waiter can correct me like, yo, that's not the. Excuse me, sir. Actually, it's supposed to be.
Why?
And then you're like, oh shit, why?
Like,
you didn't have.
Why did I just say for cousins?
Yeah. No, we are not saying for cousins. Yeah. So, what would you recommend? Like, on just you're just a regular Nairobi guy. You want to take your girl out on a date.
Yeah.
What kind of wine would you recommend for
For it? So
something that will sound fancy when you order it, and it's not on the expensive side. It's just like a regular priced kind of wine. Yeah.
So there's different levels to this question because no single restaurant chain or whatever is the same on the wine list. Every establishment has a different wine list.
Okay.
So in terms of price, I would say just first skim through the wine list.
Yeah.
Look at what I would do if I didn't know. I would look first at the prices.
First.
I see where I'm comfortable first. And then from that bracket, I now start saying, if it's a dinner and you're having a nice full couple courses of meals, I would go with a bottle to share.
Oh yeah, and I heard it's actually always wise.
Yes.
Go with a bottle. Buy a bottle. It's always
because even if you don't finish it, you can always
carry,
take it home.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True.
And it'll save you lots of coins.
True.
So I'd go with a bottle to share first, and if it's a dinner and if there's going to be something heavy as a dish, I would go with a red wine. If we're chilling and we're having brunch and it's a fun Sunday or whatever, I would go with a rosé. Or, let me say rosé.
Rosé is pinkish, right?
The pink.
Yeah.
The pink.
Yeah.
And
I wish we
surprisingly,
had
it's not. It will not always be sweet. Most of the rosés aren't sweet, by the way. And this is something.
Okay, the few
most people assume.
I that's what I know.
No.
Because in every wine tasting, the ones that they were like
Like
and I actually
really
liked rosé because it has that sweet. It's even the way I'm describing. Rosé has that sweet. Yeah, it from all the wine tastings that I've done, the rosés that were served were like actually really, really sweet.
Okay, by sweet
and
do you mean
they were chilled as well? So like they have like a really nice, different taste from
refreshing.
Yeah.
By sweet, do you mean like you enjoy? Do you mean delicious? Do you mean sweetness ya sukari? I'm a sweetness like I liked it.
No.
Sweetness ya sukari.
Sukari, yeah.
Okay. So
like those ones of like, mpaka you're like, hey, this I can drink. But if it has alcohol, you'll black out by the way.
So now there's now different. I wish we had the wine list here. So what I'd recommend then, if you find that most of the rosés you see are sweet,
Uh-huh.
it's easy to just ask. Waiters will know a lot, and people usually think they don't know, but they know a lot.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You can
Yeah.
mention something up and then they'll,
Then you,
boss,
excuse me.
boss, it's not Nini.
It's not,
It's
yeah.
actually supposed to be. They're like, yeah, I'm paying for the drink, shut up.
You just go. Ungeniambia kwa masikio.
Yeah.
And then
Uh-huh.
if you're having a light lunch, if it's like an afternoon date, I would go with a white, especially now because of the weather. Like, it's really hot.
Oh, really?
I would go with a white.
Oh, shit.
Look at how
See.
chilled, like, my glass is. Like, it'll be refreshing.
And yeah, it's, but we needed something different for the podcast.
For the gram and for
It's
the
not that I don't know
podcast.
what I'm doing. Wink, wink.
Plus, I won't lie to you. Sana. I'll lie a little.
So yeah, you've said if it's something,
Yes. First of all, price. Like,
yeah,
do not
run through the
yes.
prices.
Do not go beyond if you do not need to.
Yeah.
Also, if you do not know too much, do not go for the expensive wine,
Yeah.
because honestly, it will be too much.
Mm-hmm.
It will be too much, and you will end up not liking the choice you made. And then, what else? So, some few common ones that you will never go wrong with.
Yeah.
For a white, you will never ever go wrong
Mhm.
with a Sauvignon Blanc, which is what I'm having. You will barely ever go
How
wrong.
do you pronounce that again?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon
Blanc.
Blanc.
Yes.
Sauvignon
There you
Blanc.
go.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
You
a
know,
Chardonnay. There's a Chardonnay.
Chardonnay, yeah.
Everyone
Chardonnay.
knows Chardonnay.
Yeah.
And then for the red,
Mm-hmm.
you will never ever go wrong with the Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cabernet Sauvignon. You will not
Yeah.
go wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. Oh, sorry. And
Because
then
they're always asking me, and I'm always like, yeah.
You're like,
But that's the one I want. That's
that
the one that I like.
yes, that one.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then, if you want like a chilled red wine, you can just drink on its own. Merlot.
Mm-hmm.
Merlot would be really
Which one?
good. Merlot. The one I wanted you to get today.
Oh,
but
and
you
then
couldn't get.
yeah.
So Merlot,
okay.
if you're not eating, like you're just having bitings,
Yeah.
go with the Merlot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'll be replaying this podcast so much
You're
so
like,
that I remember, like,
I'm going for dinner.
and even so many other people will be coming. I'll put the timestamps for you guys so that you just know where and when to order what.
I wish I had a wine list that I could run through with you.
Do I ask for the
Yes,
one they
so
have?
that I can.
Okay. And then just before they come, since we're on that, when let's just say you're in a restaurant, right? And you have like this, you have red, you have wine, you have red, you have white,
Yes.
and you have rosé. Are there specific foods that go with like food pairing?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and then we're talking, in this case, we're just going with just regular foods that, you know,
Okay,
even let's say,
perfect.
even if it's for a home date or a restaurant, let's say you can have pizza and wine, can you?
Yes, you can have pizza. and
So
wine.
if you're having pizza and wine, what wine would go well with pizza?
So it depends.
I
on
just
the
want
pizza
to mention the foods that, you
that
know,
we have.
that people,
regularly.
on the regular, so that
Yeah.
people can always just relate to the conversation, and they can know and actually experiment with a kind of wine.
Yeah.
And, you know,
So pizza, for example, it depends on the pizza you're having.
yeah.
So if you're having like the very meaty, how do they call that pizza?
Or at Brew they have the one that's called all meat or something, or barbecue barbecue
good.
something.
If you
Yeah.
had something like that is barbecue something and it's just full of meat and meat and meat,
Yeah.
I would first go with a red wine,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd make it a wine that's not too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to have your pizzas with light style wines. So for example, a Merlot would be really good for pizza because it does not kill the pizza.
You still enjoy the taste of
Exactly.
the. Can you have the wine list again? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then,
What other foods do people like just have?
for
like
example,
on a regular?
pasta, because I really
Oh
like
yeah,
Art Cafe
pasta.
pasta.
Yeah.
So if you have pasta, I would go with a Chardonnay, for example, because Chardonnay tends to be a little bit creamy,
Okay.
and pasta being heavy and creamy, they tend to work together. Something else.
You wanna grab the menu as well?
Oh yeah, sure.
Let me help you.
Let's go with the menu.
Yeah. So any of the foods, and you know what would go well with what. And this is actually nice because we have the menu and the foods
Yeah.
here, so you can actually
we can
just know.
always like do a pairing.
Yeah.
Salads generally
Yeah.
as a blanket would
Mhm.
do well with Sauvignon Blanc because as I said, Sauvignon is it's herbaceous, it's fruit
Oh yeah,
driven.
goes well with
Yeah.
fruits and
and
veggies.
And
Mhm.
then if you're having like a meatball sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
meatball sandwich because there's lots of tomato and there's cheese and of course there's meatballs.
Yeah.
That I would say Amarelo again would do quite well. But because I'm sticking to the 4 very common grapes because I do not want to go ahead
No,
and tell
don't-
you of grapes that
Listen,
honestly will
don't talk about things
burn your
that
brain.
people will not order, especially from my podcast. Even though I have intelligent people on my podcast,
You have intelligent people.
but not everyone is like a wine like
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do not want to scare people.
Mm.
Yeah. Woo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Okay, pastas we cleared.
Let's go with the the specials.
Okay.
We have pizza. We've said if it's like meaty pizza,
Yeah.
go with red.
Yes. A Hawaiian I would do with a white.
Mm-hmm.
Simply
Because of the pineapples.
And the bacon
They
isn't
don't
too
kill the
much.
taste as well, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So like grilled beef. Grilled beef would do very well with the Shiraz that you're having. So anything grilled,
This
that
I
you see
had-
roasted grilled,
Mhm.
Shiraz.
I think I had that with during restaurant week. I tried that with red wine.
It was good.
Yeah.
And then lamb stew, Merlot, because lamb is not a very... It's red. It's a red meat, yes,
Mhm.
but it's not. You cannot compare lamb and beef.
No, you can't.
Lamb is more subtle. So
Mhm.
I'd go with a Merlot rather than a cab. And then beef ribs, I would go with a cab.
Okay.
By cab, actually, when you're ordering, if you do not
Wait,
want to say
what do you mean
Cabernet
by
Sauvignon,
Oh.
just say cab.
Listen. Here I am. I was just nodding my head, and then I was like, "Oh, wait."
What is cab?
I was like, "Wait, Cabernet Sauvignon
Yes.
or
Or
just Cabernet?"
cab. If you just say Cabernet...
What's the difference
cab.
between the two, Cabernet and Cabernet Sauvignon?
So, actually, there's no difference. So, Cabernet Sauvignon is a grape. Generally,
Mhm.
it's just a grape.
Mhm.
So, cab is just a short form. Because if you do not want to say Cabernet Sauvignon,
yeah.
Sauvignon, you could always say cab.
Mhm.
And then the Sauvignon Blanc is a white grape,
Okay.
but they're from the same family. Now, this is
Mhm.
deep into the...
Yeah.
Science of it.
I'll go do my research on that. I'll go do it.
I'll send you links.
Yes,
to-
please. Send me a video. I'm good. I'm down for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then so all these things like Cabernet Sauvignon is a grape,
Mhm.
Sauvignon Blanc is a grape, Shiraz is a grape, Chardonnay is a grape. So wine is made from specific grapes,
Okay.
specific, what do we call them? Varieties of grapes.
Mhm.
The same way you have different varieties of mangoes
Yeah.
and bananas and apples. Same thing with grapes. But now with grapes, there's so many. There's thousands and thousands.
Okay, no, it's thousands. I can't go to that.
You
It's
can't go
not-
to thousands.
That's
You do
why
not-
you're saying,
you don't
like, even for
need to
you,
go to
that's why you're
thousands.
saying it's so interesting because every
Yeah.
single day you can be learning something
Exactly.
completely new. Now, from there, from like the wine list that we just asked for,
Yeah.
Did you want to break down anything from this?
So, for example, the Chardonnay they have here. Okay, so if you Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, they're quite similar.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no. So Chenin Blanc and Chardonnay are quite similar,
Mm-hmm.
but Chenin Blanc will be very all this pineapple, peach, nectarine. It will be more fruit driven compared
Mhm.
to the Chardonnay.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this wine list because it's not intimidating at all. It's
not?
I don't think so, because have you been to, for example,
Where?
Talisman?
No, I haven't. But I hear they have the best steak. Though.
They do have. Yeah.
The wine list is crazy.
Yes.
It is crazy.
Yes.
Okay, then I'll make a point to go there because I think, and such experiences are good because if you're curious and you've studied a bit, you
Yeah.
just go online,
you
like
want to
where you
challenge
said.
yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You go
Yeah.
through like a list of something. If you go there, you can actually now explore all these different things.
Yeah.
Like when you say their wine list is.
But I think now
Diverse,
it's not
it's-
bad. I know initially
Mhm.
it was massive. I know now they are.
Is it which are some of the places you think in Nairobi like serve like really
Good wine.
that you've noticed? Yeah. Let's start with that.
My favorite place for wine in Nairobi is Sierra Burger and Wine.
Oh, I love their burgers. Did I have wine? I haven't had wine there.
If you want South African wine and
Yeah.
you want good South African wine,
Yeah.
Sierra.
Really?
For sure.
Really?
Sierra for
And
sure.
you're not just saying that because your company supplies.
No, not even that.
But do you supply?
Of course we supply. We have amazing wine. We deserve
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
And then another good place would be, of course, Talisman. Tamarind also has a very good wine list. That's Karen. That's Westlands.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think in terms of locations so that everyone can be covered.
Even just the names.
Fairmont.
They have nice.
They have nice wines. Which side have I not covered?
I think you've touched on Fairmont is in town.
Yeah,
Westlands,
nice.
Westlands.
Yes, Sierra is in Westlands.
Oh, and Yaya.
They have Yaya also.
Yeah.
But the one that I like personally
Oh,
is
cause
the Westlands.
oh
one.
yeah. Oh yeah, and it's actually even when you just walk in.
But
Yeah.
they upgraded Yaya. It looks really good.
Wait,
The Sierra and Yaya, they did a
really?
yes, and it looks amazing.
When? Oh, I
don't
think
remember.
I saw something they had posted about
Yeah.
renovation and everything.
Yes, it
So
looks
it's-
really good.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
okay. Then I can't get to go there. I mean, I can't wait to go
To
there
go
because
there? It looks amazing.
because I normally go there for burgers and
But their
I've-
burgers are
I've-
so good.
their burgers are good.
Actually,
Oh.
I like their burgers, yes. But you know what I like most?
Yeah.
Their onion rings.
I don't like onion rings.
I didn't like onion
But
rings.
that's the
until
thing.
Sierra.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
I haven't had the right ones.
Yes.
Because when people talk about onion rings, am I like,
Why?
are they the same onion rings that I've had?
Sierra.
Okay, I'll try.
Westlands onion rings.
I'll try them
Yes.
out. So yeah, so those are the few locations that
the
you can
few
think of, like on
locations.
top of your head from
Okay,
around Nairobi.
Five Senses. Five Senses.
Where's that?
It's in the building where B Club is. I forget the name of that building.
Yeah, but I know
Yeah.
where there's so many places there. How come
Galana.
Galana Plaza?
Yes.
Yeah.
Five Senses they have, and then the French. It's a French-driven restaurant, so they have but they have wines from across,
Amazing, huh?
from all around the world. But the food and the wine there,
Amazing.
Yes.
Wow.
Like there's so many new places,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, wow! Like now we have so many choices.
When it comes to wine, we're just talking. Since we're still on the topic of wine, we'll go to personals later. Don't worry. Don't worry. It happens to everyone, so it has
I
to
will
happen to you.
escape
When
My
it comes
meeting, my
to
meeting.
when it comes to wine, I don't know about in different places that you've gone, but what's like the average price of a glass of wine? What's the average glass of wine supposed to be?
So again, depends on the
We'll start with the glasses and then we'll go to bottle, cause that's when I was told like it actually makes sense if you're going to actually have dinner and you're planning to talk, and extend like a little bit of your stay, get a
just
bottle.
get a bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much on average
So-
does like a glass of wine cost?
So
Uh-huh.
this changes depending on establishment. I know places that Talisman pours a bottle for 4 glasses, so it's a lot of wine. There's other places where a bottle is 6 glasses.
What?
Other places. So and also the glasses are
Oh,
very different
Yeah.
depending on the places you are.
Yes,
So
that's true.
generally, I would say, depending on the wine you're having, anywhere between 550 to 1,000 for a glass, depending on the location. If you decide I'm going to go dine at Kempinski, be ready. You will pay 1,000 for a glass.
For a glass?
Not all the wines, more or less some.
Yeah.
So, that can range 550, 1,000 there.
So I
That's
guess
what
if
you
we're going
expect.
on a date to Kempinski, I'm just buying my own glass and you're buying your own
And
glass.
oh my gosh! So why did you even take me?
No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
And then, so for example, I want to see here, assuming they pour 5 glasses out of a bottle, right? And let's say it's 650.
From your estimate, it would be right 5 glasses.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So already, if you buy a glass, a glass, a glass, a glass,
Yeah,
a glass
yeah.
to get the bottle,
Yeah.
already this is 32.50.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the bottle price is 2,900. So that's already 300
Yeah. Yeah.
that you would have rather just gotten
True.
the bottle.
True. And I think like even just psychologically, if you see like a bottle like on the table, it always slows like either your pace.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you're like, it's there,
You'll
like,
see exactly.
I mean,
and you'll see it go down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Okay, let me pace myself.
Mm.
But a glass.
you can extend the conversation. A glass, you'll just sip and then you just find it's empty. And then I think that makes sense though.
So especially if it's not just you,
Mhm.
get a bottle.
So a glass, you said between
550 to 1,000 there.
to 1,000 there. Most expensive 1,000. 1,000-ish.
Yeah, 1,000 ish.
It can't be 2 Gs.
It can't be 2 Gs.
Yeah,
That's
so,
ridiculous.
yeah,
It
that's
can't be 2
ridiculous.
Gs.
Yeah.
It can't.
So how about a bottle? Cause now this is where like choosing like just a decent bottle,
Mhm.
and we'll also go to like what is like most expensive that's
Okay.
served. Maybe it's something that somebody buys like on special occasions.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a wedding, and then there's a specific bottle of wine that
Mm.
people like go for.
Yeah.
So let's start with just something that's on the lower.
Lower.
Yeah, not
So-
we won't use entry level.
Not
We'll just
entry
say
level.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just say decent wine
Yeah.
in a restaurant. How much would you spend on a bottle?
Again, I will refer back to this
Yeah.
because that's what I have here.
Uh-huh.
Around 3,000.
3,000.
3,000 should be where you start.
This is in a restaurant, and I guess even
In
in
a
clubs
restaurant.
start from between
Yeah.
2.5 to 3, right? Mm.
So, between 2,500 and 3, that's where you would start.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, people now go crazy and you end up buying 12,000. 12,000 that's not even crazy.
Yeah.
There's a place in Radisson Blu, the fine dining restaurant is called the Chop House.
I've been told
There-
somebody told me last week that I need to go to that
You
place.
need to go to the Chop House.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
you
here
need to
you
go
are,
to
and
chop
here
money.
you are telling me about this one. Just finish this story about the bottle that you're talking about.
Because now I was
Yeah.
thinking now if you look at Art Cafe, the most expensive bottle here is 3.9. Yeah.
Yeah.
At Chop House,
Yeah.
bottles go between 8,000 and 40.
40,000?
Yeah.
Okay, is there a presentation where like people are coming doing backflips and they're in flames, and then
Is the
they're
wine not
patted
going
down?
to end from the
Yeah.
bottle? Like, will it keep refilling
Yeah,
itself?
like you'll talk to the bottle and then it just fills
And then
itself
it
up.
talks back. No.
Okay, but here's the most important thing, because here's where you come in right now, because I'm, let's say, just a regular guy who visits,
Yeah.
or even if I have a bit of knowledge about what comes to wine, I know I can order this and this. When they are selling that bottle at that price, because you know the bottles, you can look at the bottles, you know the grapes, you know about the processing and all those things that come into play. Is it worth the money when you're spending for those specific bottles
So,
when you're paying for?
here's the thing.
Yes.
Me being Melisa Mwende, myself,
Yeah, yeah,
I will very rarely
yeah.
buy wine in a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Very rarely
You'll rarely buy.
wine in a restaurant.
Okay. Reason being.
Reason being, I would prefer to buy a bottle from retail and enjoy it in the comfort of my house. So you'll find me drinking wine by the glass a lot in a restaurant. Bottles, not so much. Because
Because you already know, like in your head, you're like, yo, why am I? I actually know all the prices and the best wines.
Not
So-
even, it's just the prices. And remember, this is a business like any other.
Oh, yeah.
Restaurants,
Yeah, yeah.
hotels are businesses. They have to make the money.
And
Restaurants, hotel make the money from alcohol, not food.
Oh, wait. Really?
More times than not.
Oh, wow.
They'll make most of the money from alcohol.
Okay.
So with that in mind,
Yeah.
try to imagine the markup.
Just buy food. Eat food. Eat food.
But then again, when
But
I
you're
really
paying
want
for
to enjoy,
you're paying for ambience as
exactly.
well.
You're not
and
paying
just,
for just the glass.
yeah.
So when I'm like, you know what, I want to go out and enjoy a nice dinner and have a good glass of wine, I
Yeah.
will buy.
And even if you're meeting friends, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not every time you want to invite people to your house.
Exactly.
What if it's a date? You don't. The first day you're inviting somebody to your house, you're clearly sending a whole different
Wrong.
message, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, so I now that's just me.
Mhm.
It's the same with what example can I give?
No, but that's you. But I'm sure there's a bottle of what's like what South African wine do you know, like bottle wise, is like super, let's just say from at least $100 to $150 upwards. And it's worth the money because of certain reasons. I don't know what makes wine expensive just
Yeah.
from retail. Forget,
Yeah.
because clubs, of course, they will hike
They
and
will.
they'll just exaggerate. But what makes wine expensive?
Okay. So what makes wine expensive is most times is the effort that took to make that wine.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier this year I had the privilege to work in a winery, which was
Where?
really fun in Cape Town.
Mm.
That was really fun.
Mhm.
So I got to see just how many people, how much money, how much time,
Yeah.
effort
All the things that
goes
come to play.
into
Mhm.
just getting that glass of wine on
Mhm.
your table. So the more expensive wines first are made, the very few, like they don't make a lot of that wine.
Mhm.
They get the grapes from the very best sites. They use the very best machinery, yeasts, whatever, to make the wine. Like they use all the best of whatever is needed to make that wine.
Mhm.
So the cost of making the wine already is high.
Yeah.
Now they sell it at a high price.
Marketing strategies have to come to play, and
Yeah.
all those things, campaigns,
Exactly.
branding.
And branding. And also sometimes for something like Moe, for example,
Mhm.
if you buy a bottle of Moet, you're buying the brand. You're not buying a tea.
It's not. Look at you.
Gosh, okay, I'm
It's
saying all
not-
the wrong things.
No. I'm just no.
My
But
opinion, I
but
have
it's
tried
educating
better-
people on this.
I have
It's
had better champagnes.
really.
Yes. Only
So it's
that.
just because they've been super hyped with
Exactly.
advertising,
Yes.
proper advertising.
Yeah.
Okay, what about?
But it's not
what
a bad champagne.
What about Bel Air?
Bel Air.
Is Bel Air it's a sparkling wine?
Yes.
Is
But
it a rosé?
They have a rosé, they have a white.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about Bel Air
Mm-hmm.
because Mimi, the times I've drunk Bel Air, I don't even remember because I've just been drinking because it's Bel Air and it's the gram and I have to show people
Oh,
I'm drinking
yeah,
Bel Air.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that. Like honestly, when I drink Bel Air, I'm doing it for the gram. Period.
But you haven't just broken it down as a connoisseur, like, okay, this tastes good, or the bubbles make this,
So
all those little things that come to.
I have sort
It's
of
called
done it.
sparkling.
Sparkling wine.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all those things, have you analyzed at that point?
Yes, sort of, not consciously. So if I was given a bottle of Bel Air and a bottle of Moet
Mm-hmm.
and a bottle of a champagne that I think is brilliant.
South African.
No,
of
it's
course.
French. No, it's
French?
French.
Really?
Yeah.
You can name it if you want. There are no
Of course.
restrictions here.
It's called Nicolas Feuillat. It is
Okay.
amazing, and it's actually the number one most consumed champagne in France. Do you know why?
Why?
Because they know it's good shit.
Oh, it's actually been the way it's been made and everything.
So French people who
Do you
bring you
guys-
Moet
Yeah.
do not drink as much Moet as we do.
Oh, and it still comes from there.
Exactly.
Mm.
So that should also be an indicator for you that
Come
okay,
on.
okay.
Yeah. It's just marketing for them.
But
I'm
they
guessing.
have brilliant marketing. Like I won't even fault them.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I had
marketing
that.
strategies.
I wish I had that strategy of marketing. Like what they have, kudos. Like sour.
Okay, so yeah, we've talked so much about wine, and those are just the basis that I'd want just the regular people to understand. People are not connoisseurs or just crazy wine enthusiasts who
Yeah.
pay attention to all the details
All
that
these
it has
things.
this, it has this. So what next as a projection from just what you're doing? What's the next level that you would aim for as just from what you're doing now? What does it grow to?
So there's many different avenues I can go to. Also something else I like about wine.
Yeah.
There's so many different things I can be. So I have the option of deciding I will start importing my own wine and selling it here. I can also say I want to work as a sommelier in a Michelin star restaurant. I can decide I want to be a winemaker. I can decide I want to remain being an ambassador, but for different brands, maybe bigger brands.
Yeah.
I can decide to open a wine shop, you know. But what I would actually want to do, going back to what I wanted to do when I was small, I would really love to travel for wine.
Oh, now because that passion
Yes.
of traveling
Exactly.
and actually now trying out
Yes.
different.
I
And
would,
for your blog as well, I'm
and
guessing.
exactly for the blog, I would want to create content for this wine. There's
And why
like
don't you do
thousands
videos?
and
Why don't you do
thousands.
videos?
I know,
Such
like
people. See?
it's
Because you know,
been
like
on
I was
my
going through
plan.
Instagram and I was like, you know, what she's doing like would be so much more interesting if I
On
could see
video.
like videos. Because I can see all these different like
It's
you
my
know
2019
experience. Just try, you know.
No, I'm
Don't
serious.
just say like
No, I'm serious.
2019.
It's actually something I'm now actively working
You
on.
have that picture of, you know, that chick with climbing up the stairs. 2019, new me, new.
New thing.
Yeah, but also I can get the sense that it's also made you take like a few trips to different places to actually with the company that you're
that's
working for, right?
Yes. And it's amazing.
Is it mostly essay
exposure.
or
yes,
like
mostly essay because for now we've only had essay wines, but we recently got French wines. So hopefully there's a trip to France in the horizon.
that's definitely coming. That's
Yeah.
definitely coming.
So, but it's essential to travel when you're in this industry because I do not have a reference point in Kenya. Like, Sina,
What are you saying?
we make wine, but we're also
Okay, this
learning.
brings me back to my another good question.
yes.
What do you think of the local winemakers?
First of all, hats off. Like I respect them so much,
Mhm.
simply because Kenya and where we're located has been one of those places that originally was like you can't make wine because the climate and the what it's just not for making wine.
Mhm.
And those guys are like, okay, fuck you, let me show you. And they made wine. That, first of all, it's something I don't even know if I could do. In terms of the wine we're making, Lelesho, for example, has won accolades. Like they've won gold medals in competitions and whatever.
Locally or
Internationally.
oh, the lady,
Yeah.
I've met her. I gave me a card and I haven't sent her anything. I feel so horrible.
You should feel horrible.
No, I'll contact her.
You should. So, but it's still a growing culture here. So you will not compare Lelesho against South Africa or France. We're not yet there.
It's crazy there, I'm
But
sure. 'Cause-
slowly and surely we are getting there. I can see us getting there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any favorite then? I'm guessing your favorite is Leleshwa.
Well, there's no
Local?
options. Like, what are the options? Lelesho and then.
Oh, she's the only one.
So there's a friend of mine who just started not making wine but growing a vineyard.
Yeah.
But that will take another 2 years or a year. So
a lot of
there's
work,
Lelesho and there's the one.
We really don't have like a lot of.
No. There's the other one. The problem with the other one, it's like a boxed wine in like a small Tetra pack. So you can't even compare that against Lelesho.
Okay.
Do you know Mara wines? Mara, the ones that have beads.
I think I've heard. I'm just trying to remember, but I can't.
So you can find them any
They're there.
supermarket. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you would assume they're Kenyan because they have like.
They are not.
They're not.
Where are they from?
South African.
Oh,
So we only have Lelesho.
Oh my.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, I think we've touched on like wine quite a lot, right?
Yes. we
And
have.
you know, like that just gives people a basis like on what you do.
Yeah.
And you know, like they can actually, like you've said, they can actually still study something like this,
Yes.
and somebody can pursue this as a career.
Yes.
And I didn't know. You see, I didn't know. I just knew like, you know, those wine thing. The only people who I know like do
Wine. as a
something close
career.
to wine
Yeah.
is I don't want to forget her name. She's my good friend. The brew lady.
Oh, Soraya.
Soraya.
Oh, Soraya.
Soraya.
Like she's one of those people
Yeah.
I look up to, honestly,
Yeah.
because she knows so much and she's been in this industry for long.
Yeah.
I respect her so much.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
always like so eager to share information and the
Exactly.
experience and just build the knowledge. It's not just about selling wine for her.
No.
She really
Like, let
wants
me
to
teach you
educate people.
something. Yeah.
And that's where like I buy like most of my wine bottles.
Me too.
Like even for you too,
Me too.
because even
So-
for
Where they were located on Gong Road,
yeah.
trust you me, it is still 7 minutes away from my house. Walk. 7 minutes
You're
walk.
lucky because
Yeah.
even my
yeah.
rider knows, like he's always like, oh pale to ile place ya wine naenda hapo saizi. So what I normally do, and even that's how I got like even more interested with wine, cause like even from their Instagram
Yeah.
they have, and it's a very clever way of how they sell their wine.
Mm-hmm.
There's some prizes that you can get if you click through Instagram and goes to their website.
Yeah.
You can get like cheaper
Like
prizes,
discounts.
and when you walk in they're slightly different.
Okay.
So if you go
So
through
they
the
get
website and
you.
you just call and like, yo, I've seen this on the website, and you order for ABC, like I don't even know what it contains, but they sound
Yeah.
too fancy. But most of the time I go in either South Africa,
Yeah.
because they always like, do you want the red, and whatever, all those other, because we're talking about like over 60-70 different wines.
Yes.
So he'll explain to me like, this one and this one,
It's
I'll
like
be
this,
like,
it's like that. Yeah.
So just ask my friend, so which one?
Which one?
So
Yeah.
we used to choose
Mm-hmm.
according to the design of the bottle. Which
Oh,
one looks
wow.
yeah, because here's the thing. You look at the name, it looks good, the package looks good, because you do want to drink wine and you do want something different.
Yeah.
Plus, like we've said, we want something that, if you're trying to impress
Impress
someone, even
that
if it's
with-
your friends,
Yeah.
you want to just give them an option of something that's slightly different from what they're used to.
Oh, that reminds me something.
Yeah.
Do you know a smart way to go about it that
Tell
might
me.
be more helpful?
Tell me.
You yourself, you know what you like, yeah?
Yeah.
You know that
Mhm.
you want, for example, now you can say, I want something refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
I want something that will quench my thirst, that is almost sweet, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell that to even whoever is speaking to, even in a supermarket, in a wine shop.
Oh, that's not going
On
to
a
happen in a
restaurant.
supermarket.
Chandarana,
Oh, yeah, that's a different kind of supermarket.
and that's where I buy my wine a lot.
Okay.
Because
You have the local
People
supermarkets,
know.
and then you tell them like, I'm looking for something
no,
sweet.
those ones will not
And
help
then-
you. But that is how you can
Yeah.
navigate
Mm,
through,
mm.
even at dinner. For example, if you really do not want to go in the wine list,
Yeah.
you're not sure, just say, I would like something that is red and bold and something I can have with
by
meat.
bold, it means it has a
Like,
strong.
Yes, you see how you said this
yeah,
one is
feels.
it
yeah.
feels rich.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
that. So you could describe what you want and they'll recommend something. Most times I even ask for recommendations
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh,
they
you do?
know. Yeah, because you'll always find they know something that you don't.
That you don't, and then
Yes.
they'll give you an extra option of something that you didn't even
didn't
have
even
in
think
mind, and then
about.
you're like, okay, sir, let me go with
Exactly.
this.
Like
Okay.
use people you have around that can help. Use those people. Use those people.
So now,
Mimi, text me on Instagram. Send me questions.
do you interact? Do you get DMs from people just
Yeah.
asking about?
Yeah, so
Imagine
I
if you
do.
were doing video.
Okay.
Hey, it can open so many other doors you have
Yeah.
no idea. Because, okay, I'm not saying
No.
that,
The thing with me and
but
video.
even people just sending you like packages to try
Yeah.
out, like, yo, this is
We
our
have
wine.
this
Do you want to
wine.
just try
Try
out
it
and tell us
and-
what you think? Because that's what's happening right now.
Now with video, I need equipment.
You don't need all those things. You just need a phone. Do you have a phone? Does it
I
have
don't
a
want
camera?
to make a shit video.
No. But that's the thing. If you just have a nice phone and good lighting, either shoot towards when it's morning hours or towards the evening when the light is soft, you're good. All you need is a phone. That's it.
I'll shoot a video before the end of this month. It'll just be 2 minutes long.
Listen.
No, I'm
Then-
serious.
No, try it.
I'm serious. I'll do it.
Don't even do 2 minutes. Do 1 minute.
Okay.
Because
I'll
1
do it.
minute is like just that standard for Instagram
Yeah.
and all the other social platforms, and
Mhm.
it's enough for just people's attention span, which is now like 1 minute.
1
and
minute.
then just do 1 minute.
Okay. I'll do it.
and then
I'll do it.
see the response,
Yes.
because you're actually good at what you do. You have so much knowledge, but now here you are, we just see you in pictures. You don't talk about the things that you're actually supposed to represent. Come on.
Oh wow.
Eh?
Oh gosh.
So
Put
now-
me under fire.
No, but I'm just saying, just put it
Let me-
into
yeah.
consideration.
Yes, I'll take it.
So now on the podcast, we just try and find people's balance in life and how they do almost everything.
Yeah.
We've talked about background and what it's aspired to be, and how you got to this stage, and how you're actually now making a living with this. And of course we have to go to the just love segment. I'm just gonna
The love
ask,
segment.
are you in a relationship?
Yes, I am.
How's it going?
Really good.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hear that? No hesitation. Somebody, I saw that podcast and the way you responded. But okay, now how does this come into play when it comes to your relationship? What you do for a living?
Well,
Because you take a lot of trips,
yeah.
overseas. There, studying, and you're always at all these nice events, interacting and mingling with so many different high-profile people, perhaps, and everything. It never gets to a point where Mazi, you just talk to way too many people, Mazi. It doesn't. No, I have to ask. I'm asking
Yeah.
because different people in different situations. Does it ever, or is it a plus? Because if you have an understanding partner, they'd be like, oh, me, I'm set with wine for life.
Yeah.
I'm set, and if I need to learn something, she got me. She can
Yeah.
always educate me in all these things. Does it play?
A role. So
Yeah.
what's interesting is, for example, something that happened very recently when I was in Cape Town for my studies.
Yeah.
The thing with relationships is that people sometimes forget is it's amazing, but it's work.
Yeah. it
So
is.
you have to put in effort
Yeah.
to have things. So Skype became the most used application on my phone around that time. But he is very supportive. When I was studying, we had 2-hour sessions every day doing flashcards.
Or he holds them
On
for
Skype.
you, and then you
Yes.
just.
So also the thing is, and meet all these events and what you're talking about, it's nice when you go with a date.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it works out. I
Or
think.
not.
Or
At
not.
times, or not.
Yeah, actually, there's
See
times
people,
when.
because it's alcohol,
yeah.
and the people, if you have a partner who's insecure, and
Exactly.
people are smiling
And
at
people
you,
are smiling and what.
yeah, you're
But
hugging people
luckily-
and everything, and
yes.
it's just work.
And it's work, and you're like, why? But luckily, so far, it has not been an issue.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all you have to say about your relationship.
No, you asked me a question and I answered.
Oh yeah, okay. No, but
I will
that's
not offer information
no,
I've not
no.
been asked for.
Oh yeah, true. Very true, very true. And okay, like you've said, they're very supportive in what you do, the flashcards and everything. And I don't even think I have any more questions, because if you have somebody who's supportive and everything and understanding, that's a very good thing, because it puts, basically just makes your work easier.
Exactly. I don't have to stress about, so now I'm at a tasting and I'm being asked, where are you?
Text messages here, the phone is ringing and everything. That's very important. So
Yeah.
even choosing a partner, you have to consider all those things. Is it a Kenyan guy?
No.
That explains a lot. You see? There we go. You see what I'm talking about? That explains a lot.
When you said choosing a partner, whatever, something that I realized with myself. A few years back, I was shallow. I was looking for, do you look good? Okay. Who do you know?
Oh.
Now I'm looking for, some things that I look for these days is, are you kind?
Oh, really?
Are you understanding? Are you mature enough to understand that we are two different people? We are not at the half of our one thing,
From
no.
different backgrounds,
Exactly.
different dreams and aspirations.
Exactly. Are you willing to support my work and my passions all the way? These days, ni sawa. Wacha ukue tu yule sura ya, unajua ni lawyer. Usimwone hivi. Ni heri.
No, it's just it's better, and I'm just thinking, even for you, from what you're saying, peace of mind just is everything.
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind is everything.
And it's so hard to find peace of mind
Oh,
in Nairobi.
hey, that's the thing. I try and explain to people, like, I just don't know how to fight and argue with people anymore. When maybe like you're in high school and you're doing all those things, it just seems like, it's just fun. But when you're a whole grown up, you have work that requires like your attention.
You can't afford to be stressing.
You can't. Like this person is actually meant to be there to actually make you feel better when you're stressed out and everything.
I was watching, there's a movie or whatever I was watching, and I remember it was an interview, and the lady was she's a successful winemaker, and she was being asked, what do you think is ultimate success in life? And she said, in this life, I'm just looking for happiness. So now the lady was like, how are you looking for happiness? And she said, for me, I know the key to happiness is love. And I sat down and I'm like, hey, okay. You imagine by love, I mean you have a family that does not give you stress. They support you. You clearly can tell they love you and you love them. Easy. And then you have your friends who, again, do not give you hell. And then you have a partner who you spend so much time with that loves you and you love them. So it comes with, like... It's a plus.
Everything is just like...
easy. Yes. Like it's just a...
And that's what... I think that's really hard to find in Nairobi. That's for sure. It is. And, since you've said that, when you say, like, he's not Kenyan, I was like, okay, because I was just waiting for you to tell me, like, he's always texting me. We're struggling here with, like, with just communication is like a whole different thing. But you see, it also comes with just cultural backgrounds and everything.
But what's the problem, though? I have
Kenyans?
Dated Kenyans before, and
they're just not working out
I don't
for
think
you,
it's a Kenyan thing. Honestly, I don't think it's a Kenyan. I think it's a person's thing. But you can clearly tell there's the way people from other places, like environment of how you've been raised and what you've grown up seeing and how your culture is, it affects a lot of who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Kenyans are at fault. I'm just saying we probably do not have the right foundation when we're raising our men. I do not want to get into it.
Ooh, I'll cut that snippet. That's what we'll be advertising your your podcast with, right?
Please no. Please don't do that.
I will have to.
Please don't do that.
But if it's true, it's true. Because you're talking from a personal experience, you see, and like we said, that's why I was asking, like, you have a partner who's understanding when you're doing, because I know, like, all those two small things, those are the two small things that I see people arguing and fighting about all the time. So me mpaka I'm always like, it's really peaceful to be single, because I'm seeing guys fighting over the things that you're like, come on.
Do I even need to be fighting about this?
Okay, sawa. So, just a few more quick fire questions before you just leave, right? Do you exercise? Or how do you,
Yes.
'cause you seem like you're healthy, have good skin, you're glowing. How do you exercise, meditate? How do you take care of yourself?
I go to the gym, especially because I drink a lot.
Yeah.
So you have to keep a balance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll look 50 when I'm 30. Yeah.
True. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So I go
how
to
many
the gym.
times a week? Eating habits?
Eating habits, that's where I fail, because
Yeah,
I
but at
always
least
tell
you-
myself I will cut. There's a time I cut out sugar for 6 months, and then I backslid. So now I'm back to, but
Lots and lots of sugar.
but I'm working. I hope I can get enough willpower. But I love eating. I eat so much. I like it so much.
There's a lot of
Funny.
emphasis on that.
Yeah.
Like I eat so much.
Hint.
Yeah.
Funny, which is something very strange that people don't seem to understand. I love it when I add weight, because for a long time I struggled with adding weight. When I was small, I used to eat Blue Band because I'm like,
It's just not happening.
it's just not happening. So now I'm actually saying in the past year I've added, not even the past year. Yeah, in the past
Were you extra skinny?
I was extra skinny.
Or and you
extra
just didn't
skinny.
like it?
I didn't like it. I was like, why am I so bony? So I
Are you
exercise.
dating a Nigerian guy? Because they're the ones who feed, like, they really want... they feed you that Blue Band. They're like, yo,
Like,
you need to eat. No.
So even when I exercise, I'm actually my first 6 months were to gain muscle.
Oh, gain.
Just to gain. I'm actually still at the gain phase.
So should we feed you something with a lot of protein, like just on a takeaway as you're living?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yes.
So if I got you. Whatever you want to eat, I got you. So one question that I ask like lots of people, because I know you have a meeting to go to. I don't want you to be late or anything. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. So one question that I ask everyone just before we wrap up the podcast.
Okay.
What's the one thing that you I won't ask this other question because that's a whole different page. But let me ask you the final question.
I want that one.
That one is like, does the whole Instagram thing get to you? Because like there's the whole mental thing with people with depression now and everything, posting pictures, having self-doubt about it gets to you?
I quit Instagram on November 4th and I only got back in February 16th.
Okay. Why?
It was too much pressure. There's pressure. And I remember I was like, it's not that deep.
But it starts actually affecting, it starts messing with your head. You're like, hey, there's something's not right.
Yes. No. I had to quit. And I could actually see tangible. Like there's people, you know how you have Instagram friends?
Yeah.
And they end up being party friends that you meet at Alchemist and you meet at all these festivals. And the time, I remember, I will never forget, I met some people and I felt so empty. I was like, I have all these people. I'm always saying hi to people. Always.
Yeah.
I was like, I emptiness.
You know them, but they're not friends.
Exactly.
Because every time you meet with them, do you have
It's
meaningful conversations?
Drinks. Where are you going after this? Yeah. What's the plan?
Okay, so now here's the catcher. Even question, another one. When was the last time you had a real conversation like this is somebody?
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey. Hear that? You see that? You see that? Even just by asking that question, when was the last time?
Ish.
Yeah, so that's why the podcast is here, and it makes sense. You see, even for me inviting you to it, it's just because I know I've bumped into her, and I can tell there's more to her. Even though I couldn't tell much, but I could see okay, this one thing that you're doing, and I see you doing every single day. What's her story? So I'm like, I need to talk to her on the podcast. Yeah.
Okay. And this is really, because I can imagine you've met so many people.
You have no idea. And by the time they're leaving, they're like, I needed this. I needed this.
I'm leaving, I'm like, I've told my story. I feel so good.
Yeah,
I've
it
talked
feels
to someone,
good, right?
And I've answered questions that I actually like being asked.
Yeah.
So this was really good.
So it's just those normal, simple
I am
conversations.
over my hangover.
And she was hungover, but look at her now, sipping wine and everything, but we're good.
You
feel good.
I feel good.
But
Thank you
see,
for the fruit.
Just the conversation, it's just something that taps in your head, and you feel that's
my
a
life.
reboot, and you're feeling even after talking, you're thinking of doing video.
Exactly, and I will
Challenge
honestly
yourself
do
with that.
video. And you will be the first person to see the video.
I'll tell you what. If you can do that video, I'll do your second video for free.
I'm doing a video.
Yeah. So it's up to you. It's up to you to decide.
Oh my gosh,
you decide
thank
that.
you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so the last question.
I didn't even want questions.
Last question. If there's one thing that you think right now you're pursuing that would give your life a better direction, better meaning, more happiness, what's that one thing that you'd say you wake up to every single day in pursuit of? Maybe it's just like a promotion, moving to a different country. What's the one thing that you think right now that you're chasing that would give your life a whole different meaning? But you want it, you really want it. It's just that one thing. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant. Who knows? No, I'm just saying. There are people who have those different things that they're trying to What's that one thing that you think right now
I'm looking for?
Yeah.
A relationship with God.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up, I'm like, I feel like he's so far away.
Oh yeah.
He's so out
You
of
feel
reach.
it's there, but you
Really?
don't feel like there's that.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's something I'm really trying, because I see people who they talk about God like he's their bestie.
I have
I'm
a
like,
friend,
gosh, how do you do that? Like, how do you do that?
and I do understand, and I was trying to explain to my friend, I want to know, because for her she was telling me she talks to God.
Yes.
So I was like, no. I mean,
How?
and I
Why
was
is
like,
it?
just explain to me. He
how.
talks to you, like he comes and has a conversation with you. And she was like, yeah, I talk to him.
How?
So I was like, I
How?
want to know. And I've been trying to get her to the podcast,
Yeah.
but I hope I will, because
Okay, that is something.
it will it's an eye opener to other people who are trying to also
Yeah.
almost like receive something of the sort.
Exactly. And there's always people always say there's a peace that comes with
Yeah.
having God in your life that is unexplainable. I want to be able to tell someone the same thing. Like, I can't explain it. I want to be able to say I can't explain it.
And you see a lot of people who've gone to that direction, and like, okay, forget about the people who like just on something else. Somebody like Wahoo, you see like she's on this spiritual path, and even when you talk to her, there's so much purity and just positive vibes when you talk to her.
This thing is working.
So even for her, I'll definitely bring her to
Get
the
her to-
podcast and just talk about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about everything. Where can guys find you and everything? Is there like something you want to plug that you have going on?
Yes. So my personal page is Melisa Mwende, just with an underscore.
Yeah.
But my business page is Little Wine Basket. That's where I talk about the wine, and I do tasting. I'm planning a blind tasting, and it's going to be free. I want people to experience blind tasting. So I'll
Free
make
as
a plan.
in people don't pay for
Yeah.
what they're drinking?
Yes, I'll make a plan and invite people. I'll open tickets for a day. When I get the cutoff fine, guys
yeah.
come. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's something I'm excited for. I could actually make my video about that.
Oh. I got you. I promise you, like, you do one video, the next video you want, I'm doing it for you.
Thank you.
So it's up to you as long as you do
I
it.
don't do it, then okay.
I'll do it, because now it shows commitment on your side, and it shows like, yo, okay, now sawa. And now I'll come there to just give you more motivation and see, so that you can just see on your own, like, okay, I can actually do this.
Okay.
So that's it, guys. I mean, we've been talking to Melisa Mwende. She's like, I'll just call her wine connoisseur. She doesn't want to use that word, but she's really, like, even from just the conversations that we've had, she's talked quite a lot about the wine industry, different types of wines, what she'd recommend. We've talked about regular prices that we spend here in Kenya, from the lowest. We've talked about entry-level wines, other different wines, all those things that come to play. And there's nothing more that I can say than just to appreciate and say thanks that for you came through.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
And we should do
This
it
was
again.
very fun.
We should do it again.
Yes.
Maybe towards the end of the year, I'll still call you up for
And then
a
we
follow-up.
can do an actual wine tasting on camera.
I got you.
Yeah?
Let's do that.
Great.
So that's it, guys. The Kiskapades podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, iTunes. I'll figure out for Android users. I got you. Just give me 1-2 weeks. I'll figure something out for you, and you'll be able to listen on Android as well. But YouTube, we're there every single day, a snippet, and then at the end of the week, the full video. Till next time, it's been real, and thank you.